Have you ever stood in front of the mirror, turned slightly to the side, and thought, when did that waistline appear out of nowhere? Maybe you've noticed your favorite blouse doesn't drape the way it used to, or perhaps, while out shopping, you've picked something off the rack only to find that it draws attention to exactly the place you'd rather it didn't. If that sounds at all familiar, you're absolutely not alone. And more importantly, there's nothing wrong with your body. Let's start with that truth right now. Bodies change. That's life. And after 60, those changes tend to speed up a bit. Maybe gravity plays a bigger role, or our metabolism decides to take a long nap. But here's the good news. Just because our shape changes doesn't mean we have to stop dressing in a way that feels stylish, elegant, and confident. You can still look fantastic, in fact, even more fabulous, with just a few clever tricks up your sleeve. And the best part? These aren't about dieting, squeezing into shapewear, or hiding under oversized clothes. No, these are smart, flattering, and most importantly, comfortable changes that help you feel like the best version of yourself every single day. So, today we're diving into 6 style tricks that will instantly flatter your figure and help shift attention away from your midsection. Not because your waistline is something to be ashamed of, not at all, but because style is about balance. It's about guiding the eye, creating harmony, and feeling good in what you wear. And when you know how to dress with intention, you don't have to rely on trends or hope. The right outfit just magically appears. Let's start with a simple idea, something that might even be hanging in your closet already: structure. There is a certain magic that happens when a piece of clothing has structure in all the right places. Think of a blazer with soft tailoring, or a jacket with just a bit of shape at the shoulder. Structure gives the illusion of definition, especially around the waist, without clinging or pulling. When you're wearing something with a defined shoulder or a gentle cinch under the bust, it instantly creates a more polished silhouette. Suddenly, it's not about what you're trying to hide. It's about what you're choosing to highlight. You don't need sharp angles or anything stiff or boxy. A light cardigan with a slightly defined waist, or a denim jacket with seams that draw the eye upward, can do wonders. One lovely example is a softly belted wrap. Not tight, but enough to suggest shape. You're not squeezing yourself into anything. You're simply allowing the garment to do the work. And when clothes are built to follow the body in a flattering way, the waist naturally becomes less of a focal point. The eye is guided elsewhere, upward towards your face or downward in a smooth line. Now, maybe you're thinking, but I don't want anything that adds bulk or makes me look too done up. And that's perfectly fair. That's where layering comes in. When done right, it's your best friend. Light layering, a long vest, an open front cardigan, or even a flowy kimono-style top, creates vertical lines that elongate the body and soften the midsection. The key here is length and drape. You want layers that fall below the waist, ideally past the hip. That vertical movement draws the eye up and down instead of side to side. It breaks up your silhouette in a flattering way, making the midsection feel more streamlined. Let me give you an example. Imagine wearing a simple t-shirt and pants. Alone, it might feel a bit plain, or it might cling in places you'd rather it didn't. But now, add a long, lightweight vest over the top, one that falls to mid-thigh and moves when you walk. Suddenly, the entire outfit changes. It becomes elegant, thoughtful, and most importantly, forgiving, without feeling like you're hiding. You're not trying to disappear, you're dressing with confidence. And here's the beautiful thing. Layering works in every season. In cooler months, you can play with knits, cozy shawls, or dusters. In warmer weather, look for breathable fabrics like cotton or linen, and choose pieces with flow and movement. This isn't about piling on clothes. It's about using them strategically. A well-placed layer is like a painter's brushstroke. It changes the entire picture. Of course, all of this becomes even more powerful when you pay attention to color and pattern, and we'll get to that. But first, let's talk about one of the most overlooked style tricks, the fit of your bottoms. Now, don't worry. This isn't about squeezing into skinny jeans or trying to wear something half your age. It's about finding pants and skirts that sit comfortably at the right spot on your waist, with fabrics that support rather than cling. One of the most flattering things you can do is choose bottoms that have a high or mid-rise fit rather than a low-rise. High-rise pants naturally hold in the midsection and create a smoother line. They tuck everything in gently and give a beautiful long line through the torso. When paired with a top that drapes over the waist or ends at the hip, the result is graceful and flattering without feeling tight or uncomfortable. Now, fabric matters here. You want pants with a bit of stretch, but not too much. A structured cotton blend, soft denim with a touch of give, or even a ponte knit can be perfect. The same goes for skirts. A-line or softly pleated skirts that fall just below the knee can beautifully skim over the waist and hips, offering both movement and coverage. A personal favorite? Pull-on trousers with a flat front. They're smooth, easy to wear, and they don't add any extra bulk with buttons or zippers right where you don't want them. Pair those with a tunic that has a slight curve or side slit, and you've got a look that's both modern and timeless. But here's something else to keep in mind. It's not just about the clothing itself. It's about how you wear it, how you carry yourself in it. Posture plays a big role here too. When we stand a little taller, pull the shoulders back gently, and walk with intention, the entire outfit takes on new energy. You don't need to be rigid or formal, just aware. Clothes respond to the body underneath, and when you carry yourself with quiet confidence, everything you wear looks better. That's something no label can sell you. Confidence doesn't come in a box or hang from a hanger, but the right outfit, it can help you find it. It can be the gentle nudge you need on a day when you're not quite feeling like yourself. We all have those days when nothing fits right, or when we feel a little invisible. But those days don't have to define us. Sometimes a well-fitting pair of trousers and a lovely top that makes you feel seen is all it takes to turn the day around. And if you've ever looked at a younger woman and thought, I used to wear things like that, let me tell you something. You still can. Maybe not the exact same way, maybe not the mini skirt or the tight crop top, but the essence of what made you feel beautiful then. That doesn't have an expiration date. You just express it differently, now, with more grace, with more ease, and perhaps with a bit more wisdom. Style isn't about chasing trends or copying what someone else is doing. It's about knowing what feels right on your body in this moment. It's about choosing outfits that help you feel seen and strong and comfortable, not ones that make you wish for the past or long for someone else's figure. That's the magic of getting older. You learn to care less about rules and more about what actually works for you. So far, we've looked at structure, layering, and the fit of your bottoms, and how all of these play together to gently shift attention away from the midsection and toward a more balanced, confident shape. But that's just the beginning, because once you understand how clothing can frame your body, you start to see new possibilities everywhere. In the patterns you choose, the colors you wear, even the little details like neckline and hem length, and that's exactly where we're going next. Because now that you've got a handle on structure, layering, and bottoms that flatter rather than fight your shape, it's time to talk about one of the most powerful and fun tools in your style toolbox: color and pattern. You might not think of color as a tool to hide the waistline, but it absolutely is, and not in the way you might assume. Yes, we've all heard the old advice, wear black to slim the figure. And while black can be elegant and flattering, relying on it too heavily can actually flatten your personality. What truly matters is contrast, placement, and understanding how colors interact with your natural silhouette. Let's start with the idea of color blocking. When you wear one darker color on the bottom and a lighter or brighter color on top, or vice versa, you create a natural visual division. That division draws the eye in specific directions, often upward or outward, depending on the placement. For minimizing the waistline, the goal is to keep the midsection more neutral or darker and let the color draw attention to your neckline, shoulders, or face. A perfect example: a soft navy pant paired with a top in a dusty rose or light teal. Add a lightweight scarf that echoes the color of the top, and suddenly the viewer's eye travels up, not down. You're creating movement and focus without saying a single word. It's style storytelling, and color is your punctuation. Now, let's talk prints and patterns. This is where a lot of women hesitate, especially if they're used to solids. But here's the thing: patterns are fantastic at distracting the eye. When used cleverly, they can completely de-emphasize the midsection. Here's how. Instead of placing a bold pattern directly over the tummy area, choose tops that have patterns concentrated at the neckline, shoulders, or sleeves. A blouse with floral detail across the top and a solid colored midsection is incredibly flattering. It draws the eye upward and away from the waist. Alternatively, a tunic with vertical stripes or a subtle abstract print can create an elongated look, which again helps the waistline recede visually. But you don't have to go wild with print if that's not your thing. Even small details, like a patterned scarf, statement earrings, or a textured top, can create interest in areas above the waist. The trick is to play with balance. Think of your outfit as a canvas. Where do you want people's eyes to go? That's where your color and pattern should be. Now, one of the most elegant and easy tricks for softening the waistline is the use of asymmetry. It's subtle, it's stylish, and it works wonders. Tops with asymmetrical hems, ones that dip to one side or have a diagonal cut, break up the line of the waist. That little visual disruption stops the eye from zeroing in on one spot. Instead, the eye keeps moving, which is exactly what we want. This works with skirts and dresses too. An asymmetrical wrap dress, for instance, creates movement and draws attention to the legs and neckline, leaving the midsection softly skimmed but not highlighted. Asymmetry adds interest without being loud. It's like a whisper of style, elegant and intentional. And if we're talking about intentional details, we absolutely have to discuss necklines. You might not think your neckline has anything to do with your waistline, but oh, how it does. A neckline frames your face, yes? But it also determines how the entire garment hangs on your body. V-necks, scoop necks, and draped cowl necklines are ideal. Why? Because they create vertical lines, and vertical lines do what? They elongate. A flattering neckline can open up your décolletage in a tasteful way and draw attention to your face and neck, away from the waist. And when you combine a flattering neckline with a well-fitting top and a structured layer, that's an unbeatable trio. Let's say you're wearing a soft V-neck blouse with a cardigan that hits mid-thigh. The V draws the eye down the center, the cardigan adds vertical lines along the sides, and the waist becomes part of a longer, smoother picture. You don't have to wear tight clothes to look put together, you just need lines and balance. Necklines are also a great place to play with accessories. A necklace, long and simple, that follows the line of a V-neck, is like a stylist's secret weapon. It keeps the eye moving and prevents it from settling anywhere that might make you feel self-conscious. And again, it's not about hiding, it's about guiding. You're the artist here. Now let's shift to something many women overlook entirely when thinking about style tricks: shoes. Yes, shoes. Believe it or not, what's on your feet can change how your entire body appears, including your waist. Here's how. The right shoe can extend your leg line, and when your legs look longer, your torso appears more proportionate. That, in turn, minimizes the appearance of the midsection. Nude or skin tone shoes, low vamp pumps, and shoes with a slight heel all help lengthen the leg visually, but you don't need high heels. In fact, many women over 60 prefer comfort. and rightly so. The good news is that there are beautiful, supportive shoes that give you that little lift without any pain. Look for wedges, stylish sneakers with a hidden platform, or elegant loafers with a pointed toe. A pointed toe, even on a flat shoe, elongates the leg. It's a little style hack that makes a big difference. If you're wearing cropped pants or a midi skirt, a low-profile shoe in a matching or neutral tone keeps the leg line clean. Avoid heavy straps or thick ankle boots. If you're trying to create a longer silhouette, those can cut off the leg and bring focus back up to the waist. Of course, none of this means you have to give up on the shoes you love. If you adore a chunky boot or a bold sneaker, wear it. Just know how it fits into the whole look. Balance it with a top that draws upward or a longer cardigan that evens out the proportions. Speaking of proportion, let's talk about one of the most important and misunderstood style tricks, tucking. You might be thinking, there's no way I'm tucking anything in at this point. And I get it. Full tucks can feel unforgiving, especially if you're carrying extra weight. Around the middle. But there's a trick that works beautifully. The half tuck or French tuck. It's simple. Take the front of your blouse or shirt and tuck just a small portion of it into your waistband, leaving the sides and back out. This does two things. It gives the illusion of a waistline without fully exposing it, and it adds a relaxed, intentional look. You're not trying too hard, you're just adding a touch of shape. This works best with soft, drapey fabrics. Think lightweight knits, cotton blends, or linen tops. You're not trying to create a hard edge, just a little definition. When paired with high-rise pants or an A-line skirt, the half tuck can completely change how your body appears. Suddenly, there's shape, there's movement, and the waist is softly hinted at rather than highlighted. And finally, this may be the most important trick of all, learn the power of edit and repeat. You don't need a huge wardrobe, you just need the right pieces. Build a small collection of items that work for your body now, today, just as it is. Not for the body you had 10 years ago, not for the size you hope to be someday. For the woman you are now, wise, experienced, stylish. Find a few silhouettes that flatter, the cardigan that hits just right, the trousers that feel like they were made for you, the dress that makes you smile every time you see yourself in it. And then repeat. Vary the colors, change the accessories, layer differently. But come back to those key shapes that make you feel amazing. This isn't boring. It's smart. It's dressing with purpose. It's saying, I know what works for me, and I'm going to wear it well. Fashion at this stage of life isn't about impressing anyone else. It's about reflecting who you are, inside and out. And if who you are wants to wear bold colors, fantastic. If who you are wants soft neutrals and quiet elegance, equally perfect. There is no one right way to dress over 60, but there is a right way to dress for you. So don't chase trends. Don't worry about the waistline. Let your clothing be the frame, not the story. The story is you. Now, once you've found those pieces that truly flatter you, the soft V-neck blouse, the long cardigan, the high-rise trousers that smooth everything out, it's time to elevate your style with one of the most underrated fashion weapons out there, accessorizing with intention. Accessories are more than decoration. For women over 60, they can be transformational. A strategically placed necklace, scarf, or even a handbag can shift visual focus exactly where you want it. And right away, your waist becomes less of a concern and more of an afterthought. And isn't that a relief? Let's start with scarves, because honestly, they are magic. Lightweight scarves in breathable fabrics like silk or cotton can be draped in 1,000 different ways. And every way creates a new visual line. Wear one draped loosely around your neck with the ends hanging down your torso, and boom. You've created two long vertical lines that naturally elongate your figure and distract from the midsection. It's graceful, it's polished, and it feels so put together, You can even use scarves as pops of color or pattern in otherwise neutral outfits. A monochrome outfit with a colorful scarf tied with confidence says, "Yes, I have style, and yes, I know exactly what I'm doing." You can also tie one around your neck French style for a chic touch, or loop it gently across your shoulders. If you're wearing a sleeveless top and want some coverage without adding bulk. Now, let's talk about necklaces. Not just any necklace, but necklaces that follow the natural lines of your outfit. Long, pendant-style necklaces that fall just above the navel can add the same vertical emphasis we talked about earlier, pulling the eye downward without drawing attention to the waist. Even chunkier statement necklaces can be used to draw. Focus upward, especially if you're wearing a simpler neckline like a crew or scoop neck. Layering necklaces works beautifully if you want a more modern or boho look. Just be mindful that they're not crowding the bust or cutting across the chest horizontally, because horizontal lines tend to widen. Vertical is your best friend. Now, believe it or not, your handbag matters too. Think about this. Where your handbag sits visually can either work with your outfit or against it. A crossbody bag that sits right at the widest part of your waist? That's a no. It plants a visual. Target right where you don't want it. Instead, choose bags that sit slightly above or below the waist, like shoulder bags that tuck neatly under your arm, or handbags with a short handle that rests closer to your hip or thigh. Structure matters here, too. A bag with clean lines and a defined shape complements a streamlined outfit. Avoid slouchy or overly bulky bags, as they can add volume to your overall look, and not always in a flattering way. You want accessories that enhance your outfit, not compete with it. Another trick that works wonders: belting, strategically. Now, I know this sounds counterintuitive if we're trying to draw attention away from the waist, but hear me out. It's not about cinching, it's about skimming. Instead of tight belts that dig in, think wide, soft belts that sit just under the bust, the empire waist area. This is a spot where many women carry less weight, and when belted lightly, it creates the illusion of a higher defined waist. Empire-style dresses or tunics with a gathered or belted seam in this area can look incredibly flattering, especially when paired with flowing fabrics that cascade gently over the midsection. And belts don't always have to be worn on the body. You can use a belt to define the waist of a jacket or cardigan rather than your own. A loose open front cardigan with a tie belt or sash loosely knotted at the back adds shape to the garment without pressing into your stomach. It's the kind of styling detail that says you know your body and how to dress it with grace. Now, once you've mastered accessories and layering, there's another secret that will change how you feel in your clothes. Fabric choice. Most people overlook this completely, but fabric can make or break how an outfit fits and flatters, especially around the waist. Stiff, heavy fabrics, unless used intentionally in structured garments, tend to create bulk where you don't want it. Fabrics that are too clingy can do the opposite, showing every line and fold. What you want are fluid fabrics, soft, breathable, with movement. Fabrics like viscose, modal, crepe, jersey, lightweight wool blends, and even some linens. Yes, they wrinkle, but that can be part of the charm. Are ideal. Look for tops and dresses that skim, not squeeze, your body. When you move, your clothes should move with you. There's something so elegant about a blouse that catches a bit of breeze, or a dress that flows softly as you walk. That movement distracts from any problem areas you're concerned about and creates a sense of ease and confidence. Also, don't underestimate the power of texture. Texture adds interest without necessarily adding color or pattern. A ribbed knit top, a subtly crinkled blouse, a matte silk tunic, all of these can elevate a look while gently disguising the waist. Texture keeps the eye engaged and helps create a dimensional, layered outfit that feels alive. And here's the key. When you're dressing with intention, You're not hiding your waistline. You're simply refusing to make it the star of the show. Let's talk about posture and presence, because no outfit, no matter how carefully chosen, looks its best without confidence. Standing tall with your shoulders relaxed and back, your chin slightly lifted, that alone can shave visual pounds, make you appear taller, and give your clothes a better silhouette. Sometimes the most flattering thing you can wear isn't even visible. It's your energy. When you feel good in what you're wearing, when the clothes fit your life, your shape, and your style, you glow. And that glow is magnetic. So, how do you feel good in your clothes? Start by dressing for your day, not someone else's. If you're going to the market, wear a cotton tunic you love and your favorite flat shoes. If you're having lunch with a friend, wear the blouse that makes your eyes pop and those earrings you keep for special occasions. Make today the occasion. Life is now. Remember, your wardrobe isn't a museum, it's a toolkit. And you get to choose what goes into it. Maybe that includes a wrap dress that flatters every time, a pair of pants with a soft waistband that doesn't pinch, a cardigan that feels like a hug, a scarf that lifts your whole look. Your style should support your life, not restrict it. One of the best mindset shifts you can make as a woman over 60 is to stop dressing for the ideal body and start dressing for the real you, the strong, wise, vibrant woman who has earned every inch of who she is. Because here's the truth, the most flattering outfit you'll ever wear is the one that fits you today, makes you smile, and helps you walk a little taller. Let's pause here for a moment and reflect, because what we've talked about throughout this journey is so much more than fashion tips or clever clothing tricks. It's about permission, the permission to redefine your style, your presence, and your relationship with your body in this beautiful chapter of life. You see, after 60, you don't just wear clothes, you wear your story, you wear your wisdom. Every wrinkle, every curve, every subtle change in shape tells a story of resilience, of experience, of laughter and loss, of days survived and dreams still alive. And fashion? That's simply the frame around the masterpiece that is you. Let's go back for a second. Maybe for most of your life, your waist was something you measured, judged, worried about. Maybe you spent years pulling in, covering up, holding your breath, both literally and figuratively, just to fit into an idea of what you were supposed to look like. But what if now, instead of shrinking yourself, you expand? You expand your wardrobe, your confidence, your joy in dressing. Because that's the real trick. You don't need to hide your waist. You need to reclaim your body. Own it with pieces that honor who you are today, not who you were 20 years ago, or who magazines tell you to be. And if that means ditching shapewear forever and choosing comfort first, do it. If that means wearing bold prints, soft knits, or flowing caftans, even if no one else in your circle is, do it. If it means never wearing another pair of jeans because they just don't feel good anymore, that's your right. When we dress with authenticity, we dress with power. We stop apologizing with our clothing and start communicating. This is who I am. I know myself now, and I choose ease, elegance, and joy. Let's also acknowledge something that doesn't get said often enough. Bodies change. That's normal. Whether your waist has softened, your posture has shifted, or your silhouette is no longer what it was at 30, none of that makes you less beautiful. It makes you human. It makes you alive. And when you wear clothes that don't fight your body but flow with it, something amazing happens. You stop feeling like you're managing your appearance and start celebrating it. Your closet becomes a source of pleasure again. A place where every hanger holds a piece that fits and flatters. No more guilt clothes, no more someday jeans, no more tops that only work if you stand a certain way and skip lunch. Instead, you start to build a wardrobe of yes. Yes, I feel good in this. Yes, this feels like me. Yes, I'm worth looking and feeling my best today. And here's something else. Style has no expiration date. There is no age limit on looking fabulous. None. Think of all the women in their 60s, 70s, and 80s who have completely redefined what style looks like. From silver-haired influencers rocking linen jumpsuits to grandmothers in bold lipstick and wide-leg pants, living their best lives at the farmer's market or on a cruise deck or just in their garden. They're not dressing their age. They're dressing their spirit. You can do that too. Even better, you can start today, not by throwing everything out or spending a fortune, but by shifting your mindset. Open your closet and ask, does this make me feel like me? If it doesn't, it's not worth the hanger space. Maybe today you choose a softer silhouette. Maybe you layer a long necklace over your favorite tunic. Maybe you swap the old cardigan for a new duster that moves when you walk and makes you feel like you're floating. It doesn't have to be dramatic to be meaningful. Even one small change, choosing comfort over compression, flow over force, expression over suppression, can change how you walk through the world. You'll stand a little taller, smile a little more, look in the mirror, and finally see not just the body, but the woman, the whole woman. And she is magnificent. Before we close, let's revisit those 6 flattering tricks. Not to memorize them, but to internalize what they represent. Elongate with vertical lines. Whether it's a duster coat, long scarf, or vertical seams, the idea is to guide the eye gently, not demand attention. Use strategic layering, not to cover up, but to add elegance, movement, and shape. Let your outer layers work with your body, not against it. High-rise flat front bottoms, comfort meets class. The right fit smooths without squeezing, allowing you to move and breathe freely. Accessories that redirect focus. Scarves, jewelry, and bags are more than adornments. They're tools to tell your visual story with grace. Soft belts and empire. Silhouettes. Not about cinching, but about shaping your garment to flatter your body. Fabric and flow. Choose textures and materials that skim, move, and feel like luxury, because you deserve nothing less. These aren't rules, they're invitations. Invitations to see yourself differently. To embrace your shape, not erase it. To get dressed in the morning, not with dread, but with delight. Because here's the heart of it. Style is self-respect, made visible. You don't dress well to impress others. You dress well to remind yourself of who you are. To say, I'm still here, I still matter, and I get to show up in the world on my own terms. So if you're standing in front of your closet tomorrow morning, wondering what to wear, I want you to ask one question. What makes me feel most like me today? If it's something soft, wear that. If it's something bright, wear that. If it's something cozy or structured or floaty or fierce, follow that instinct. Trust your taste. It's been refined by years of living, loving, learning, and becoming. And remember, the most flattering thing you can ever wear is confidence. Not the loud kind, the quiet kind. The kind that walks into a room knowing she doesn't have to prove anything. She just is, and that is beautiful. Now I'd love to hear from you. What's one style change you've made after 60 that made you feel amazing? Share it in the comments below. Your ideas might just inspire another woman who needs a boost today. And if you found this video helpful or uplifting, tap that like button so we know to make more content just like this. Subscribe if you haven't already, because we're building a powerful community of women who are aging boldly. Together. Until next time, wear what you love how you feel, and never forget, style is ageless, and so are you.